Hello everyone, in today's episode we're going to talk about 5 ways the fear of success is holding you back. Hello everyone, as promised in the intro, we're going to talk about the 5 ways the fear of success is holding you back. And without knowing it or being aware of it, quite often we do have fears of being successful, fears of what if, the fears of what will change, who will I lose. We love certainty in life, so quite often that's holding us back subconsciously, and we're going to talk about 5 ways to address that. But as always, we're going to start with a quote, and that quote is, "True success is overcoming the fear of being unsuccessful." Paul Sweeney. I'll say that again. True success is overcoming the fear of being unsuccessful. Now, personally, I know myself that the fear of being unsuccessful, which is the fear of trying and not getting anywhere, or trying and looking like a fool, is what's held me back. It's held me back, like everyone, for a long time. I mean, I feel like I should have been doing these videos 10 years ago. I've been told for years and years and years that I should be getting this content out rather than just talking about it to my colleagues, friends and business associates. But I didn't want to look like a fool. Or even worse, I didn't want to go out and do it and not to be good at it. Luckily I am. However, that fear of not getting it right and looking like a fool is really what holds us back. Now in reality, as many people have said, many famous people have said, it's much better to look like a fool than to live like a fool, never chasing your dreams. So we're going to systematically go through some steps on how to challenge that. And for me, I remember when I got my first really big corporate job, and it was in the country of New Zealand. Beautiful country, love New Zealand. I was there for quite a while, and it required quite a bit of travel. I was managing multiple large destinations, and when I would basically put off flying. I had a little bit of a fear of flying, but I probably built it up a little bit. New Zealand's not always a great place to fly. Sometimes there's propeller-driven aeroplanes, and the winds are quite full on. And I'd put off travelling. I'd say I couldn't travel, I was too busy to travel, or I won't be able to get to this meeting. And really, it wasn't the fear of travel. It was the fear of me being able to do everything I needed to do and failing. And that really, really held me back. And that's an example of, I think, everyone at some stage has a fear or a phobia that really they use as a bit of a comfort blanket. But that's not your authentic life. You were here to shine. You were designed to shine. You are the light that shines. Without your shining, you cannot illuminate the world. You playing small enables no one. So we're going to move to the first step to really see. This is a key point of really seeing whether you're limiting your own success. And number 1, you avoid new opportunities. So things come up and you just immediately say, no, I can't do that because of this, or I can't do that because I haven't spoken to this person. Saying no to new opportunities consistently is really a core sign that you're subliminally holding back your success. And just think about recently if you've said no to something and then later on thought, geez, it would have been great to do that, or I should have given that a shot. If you can think of something like that, you can really start to acknowledge that subliminally you're holding yourself back and you need to address some changes. So number 2, you try to please everyone. Your true life will ruffle a few feathers. Some people will need to leave your life and not like you as you become the best version of you. Now they need to follow their journey, and maybe the fact they won't like, the fact that you've had to say no to them because you're following your dream will help them on their own path. You will start to ruffle a few feathers or piss some people off as you start to say no and look after yourself from the perspective of not trying to please everyone. You cannot please everyone. There's a fact for you, guaranteed fact, write it down, you cannot please everyone. So trying to please everyone is guaranteed failure. You will need to choose situations in which you can help people, because you can't help everyone. And as Jay-Z once said, you can't help the poor if you're one of them. You must create a life of value, and that life of value will shine and enable other people to grow. You can't be leaving yourself behind trying to push people forward, because as we all know, you can't push people forward. The only person you can push forward is yourself. Number 3, you maintain a disingenuous public persona. An example would be that you rock up with a smile on your face doing tasks you don't like. You consistently meet people and you put on a fake accent. I see people all the time say, "Hey, how are you? How are you?" And I'll go, that's not your normal voice. Why did you just sound like a woman? And what people are doing quite often is they're pretending, they're acting, and really the more you do that, the more you put on that face, the more it can be a sign that you're really not following your true heart and your true beliefs. You should be genuinely excited to get up in the morning and go do what your purpose is. And if you're not genuinely excited to do it, that's a hint or a tip that you need to start finding your true drive, your true purpose. And really, the fear of rejection, which is at the heart of all this, is really the fear of the unknown. Now, rejection is just a concept. Really, you want to get rejected because the more you get rejected, the closer you are to your goal. I think it was Thomas Edison that said that when someone said, you failed to create the light bulb on 10,000 attempts because he created at least 10,000 at the first attempt. He said, no, I didn't. He goes, I conclusively proved there's 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. So the more rejection you get in your life is a great sign that you're moving towards your destination. If you're not getting any rejection, it's because you're not testing the waters. Number 4, you don't speak up. Now, I see this all the time. I see people who are living lives of frustration and anger, but nobody else knows. On the surface, everyone thinks they're fine, strong individuals, but they're not speaking up. They're just putting up all the time, putting up with people in their lives, putting up with situations, and for all everyone else knows, you're as happy as Larry. And a great story comes, I think it's an old Russian folk story where there was this old lady, she was about 80 years old, and she'd been producing these amazing meals for the farmers for years and years and years. For her family who were farmers, they were wheat farmers, and she produced these amazing meals. And one day they rocked up for their meals as they had done for say 65 years, and it was hay, and the hay was on each plate. And everyone looked at her and said, "What's this?" And she goes, "Oh, you've got a problem with that. Well, I've never heard any sort of recognition or feedback about my food, so I thought that you might as well just be eating hay." And that's a great example of not speaking up and not recognizing situations, and you need to verbalize your true self. People will help you. People love when people follow their dreams, but if you don't tell them, they'll assume you're happy because they've got their own problems. So if you're not speaking up and letting people know what you want, they'll assume you've already got it and you'll never get it. And number 5, you behave passively aggressively. Now this is rife in our modern day lives. Passive aggressiveness kills. And what I mean by passive aggressiveness, when people say things like, "I wish the in-laws just wouldn't show up out of the blue," but when they do, you don't tell them that they've just shown up out of the blue, and you don't speak up, and all of a sudden all you're doing is just talking behind their back, or maybe being a bit narky to them and creating some problems. That's passive aggressiveness, and that's a cancer for the person and for the person dealing with it. Just speak up. Be authentic and be true. Be compassionate and understand that in the same way that they're not perfect and they might aggravate you, you might do the same to them, and talk. Because talking behind people's backs or acting a bit negative or trying to make their lives uncomfortable is just no way to go. And guess what? People aren't that great at picking up signals. I'm sure the women watching this video will agree that some people just don't get it. So you need to talk. You need to not behave passively aggressively. You need to not lash out at people in situations that they won't understand because they won't know what's going on. And generally what happens is they label you as a psycho. They go, "Why is this person acting like this?" They haven't said anything's wrong, but they're acting like a lunatic. And ultimately it will just hurt your self-esteem and your future opportunities. So are you being held back from success? Is fear of rejection at the heart of what is really keeping you behind from challenging your authentic life? I know what it's like. I know I should have been doing this 1-year transformation 10 years ago, but it doesn't matter because the only moment is now, and I'm doing the video now, so that's all that matters, and I'm excited to be doing it. I'm excited to be on this mission with you. We've got about 300 days left, but I'm excited for every single day. Make sure you're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter so you don't miss any of the content. If you want to speak to me personally, just click on one of the coaching links and we can work out a personalized plan for you. But other than that, I can't wait to see you tomorrow for another episode of the 1-Year Life Transformation Challenge. Goodbye.